difficulties because, of course, I was trying to figure out how I could get this to make the fun changey colors thing, but unfortunately, I still haven't figured that out. But in the process of trying to figure that out, I ended up fucking up a bunch of different settings, which meant that I couldn't hear anything at all, and then I couldn't hear my game, which we'll get there in a second. But Jesus, what a way to start a Monday. Hello, Sarcel. Welcome in. I'm glad you're here. I'm very quiet. No! 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 Why? That's not... Maybe it's because my mic is far away. I haven't changed any mic settings. And, oh my goodness. Everybody's here already. Hello. We got two Rins and a little blocky man. Hello. Is this better? Am I louder? Do I just need to speak louder? I'm having a time. No, don't leave. No one leave. A walking sugar cube. I love it. Okay, cool. Then this will be, I wonder if when I updated some of my other settings, if it, anyway, it wouldn't be a stream without some technical difficulties. I'm blocked. Yes, you are. They're, I can't remember how to, kind of want to change mine from Luca to something else. Maybe one of the Animal Crossing ones. I kind of want to, I know that they have little Animal Crossing stream avatars, and I want to be Tangy, the little orange cat. She's on my island, which I haven't played Animal Crossing in forever. Oh my god. I'm so glad that your villagers don't leave anymore, because I don't think I could handle it. My anxiety is through the roof. There you go. You got the classic. There you go, Tries. You got the classic Rin colors. I like the little Vocaloids, though. They're so fun. Look at all these little things on screen. It's so fun. I'm glad I added this. Anyway, hello everybody. Happy Monday. Hopefully it's a happy Monday. It's been pretty decent over here. I'm sorry I look like a gremlin. It's just like did not do my hair. It is in a ponytail. I just wanted it out of the way. And I'm just chilling in a shirt. A nice graphic t-shirt. Didn't put on an outfit. That's my Monday. Hopefully y'all's was chill and fun and whatever. I tried with my makeup. I tried. Also, because I wanted to use, I got these new makeup brushes that are Zelda themed, and so one is like a little Master Sword, and one has Majora's Mask on it, and I was like, I want to use these because I'm a girl and I like makeup and all that girly shit. Let me pop those warnings for. Oh, I'm also using my fancy new Stream Deck, so that's fun. It has little buttons on it, and hopefully my hotkeys won't get all confused anymore, so that's fun. But anyway. Boom. There. Oh, yes. Hello, Capamon. There are the warnings for the game, if you need them. Also, I'm about to throw them up on screen. Hold on just a hot second, because I gotta turn myself off, and then I'm gonna turn it... Where is it? On. These things. All of the stuff. Blood and gore, and violence, and death, unfortunately, because it's a murder mystery game. Alcohol, because we're about to see Mr. Reaper of the Bailey some more, who likes to drink wine in the middle of court. Domestic violence, self-harm, snakes. Hopefully we won't be seeing any more snakes, but I don't even know, because we had a snake, and who even knows anymore. Anxiety attacks, hospitals, bone breaking, lots of horrible deaths like hanging, suffocation, lots of mentions of hanging because of the guilty verdicts. Burial lives, anti-Semitism, and I would also put xenophobia. You know what? I'm just going to change that right now. We're going to also add and xenophobia. I'm sorry about the ads. There's only so much I can do about the ads. Yummy. That's sweet. I read that as fart jokes. Oh, no, not fart jokes. Fat jokes. Which, I think there might be a few fart jokes as well. Actually, there were fart jokes. Flashing lights, shaky cam, claustrophobic scene. Yay. But not yay, because these are trigger warnings. But that's all the warnings. And if you ever need them, ever again, you just type that cute little exclamation point warning in the chat, and you can see them. Yeah, chop it up, dice them, pop them in some sushi. Okay, let's get on over. I get so excited because I get to press my new shiny button on my new shiny Stream Deck, and it just goes boop. It worked. Yeah, this game can get. I think, and I've had conversations about this. This game took a while to get translated, and there's like a lot of parts where it's like. It's like kind of. I can't believe they like let them say that. So we are currently in where we left off in this man's absolutely ramshackle apartment where the window is bricked up and he lives in nothing but. Oh my god, everything is so off. What happened? I had all these settings and they were perfect. Is this better? Oh gosh. Now Razer support is trying to contact me, trying to help me with my problems. Is this better? Is this better for everybody? Can I turn this up? For myself? Is this a good volume for everybody? The game's not super loud, but I'm loud enough, and you guys can still hear the fun music, because it's important to hear the fun music. The Adventure of the Clouded Kokoro. We were in Mr. Natsume's room. Okay. I'm quiet still? This is insane. Is this better? I'm gonna turn myself up once more. And again. Well, the music's not playing anymore, so. Is it better? Okay, I won't touch it anymore, but thank you guys for helping me out. I'm sorry about that. Anyway. Where was I going? I don't think there was anything left to examine in this room. Well, I guess I can examine the window. Could you even call this a window? I think so. It was a window at one time, after all. Although, all that remains is a frame around some bricks now. So really, it's just a wall then, isn't it? And the walls all covered in books. But why would anyone deliberately brick it up like that? I'm afraid I have no idea. Ah! Perhaps Mr. Natsume painted the brick design in a bit... Oh my gosh. Perhaps Mr. Natsume painted the brick design in a bit of whimsy. That's alarmingly feasible. Anyway, whatever the reason, the lack of ventilation in here makes the place very oppressive. It does. I imagine being cooped up in a room like this would be extremely tiring. I have an answer, but it's not appropriate. Is this the answer to the riddle? Did I miss the riddle? I want to know what the riddle is. Holmesies, Sholme's. He's still just chilling, huh? Can I talk to him, or am I just... Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes. Yes, so true. To be or not to be? That is indeed the question, Mr. Naruhodo. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind's eye to suffer the slings of arrows. I actually don't remember that entire soliloquy. At one point, I did know it because I was studying like 4 different versions of Hamilton at one time, because I had to read Hamlet in my literature class, and then I had to study. Well, then I had to like do like a weird, not Hamilton. Did I say Hamilton? Hamlet. I'm an idiot. Oh my god. Hamilton, Hamlet, same thing. Shakespeare, Lin-Manuel Miranda, basically the same person. I'm so dumb. Oh god, I'm a mess today. Can y'all tell? Can y'all tell that I'm a mess? Hamlet. I was studying Hamlet. That too. I woke up early and I had to go to the dentist, and it was not fun because never is fun. Hamlet. I was studying Hamlet in literature class, and then I had The Actor's Nightmare for one of my musical theater. Well, it wasn't musical theater, it was like just acting. So it was a 1-act competition. So that was like a weird, it was Hamlet, but it was like combined with other things. Then there was like the Hamlet Thrill-mageddon, which was like a parody of Hamlet, which we were taking to ThesCon. And then there was like another version of Hamlet. It was like a, what was it? I don't even know. Don't get banned, Sourcehill. Don't get banned. To be or not to be brushed off, that is the question, and the answer is all too clear. Hamlet has the best supporting yes, the ensemble is indeed semi-Greek chorus. Let's leave Mr. Sholmes in peace, shall we? You can say balls on Twitch, I do it all the time. Holy shit balls. Alright, let's move on. I don't know where we're supposed to be going, so I guess we're gonna go back to probably the prison cell. That was correct, and you know how I know that? Because the little time card popped up. That's always how you know that you did the right thing in Ace Attorney. It seems that we can't meet with Mr. Natsume at the moment. Which, just kidding! I didn't do the right thing. I'm an idiot. But it's fine. We're progressing because we're getting dialogue. He's being briefed about his appearance in court tomorrow, apparently. I see. Yes, the trial is only a day away. Alright then, let's come back later. Yes. I really hope he's not answering any more questions with inappropriate textbook answers like, yes, I do. Because that would be very much not helpful. Let's go to... Oh, let's go to the Garadebs. They were shady. They were trying to hide something. Oh, you paragon. Tell me, was the detective chap, I forget his name, still hard at work down there? The less of them you have, the more one is worth. A friend! Thin Mints. Balls. I feel like these are all valid answers, but I think it's a friend. Also, I think you're quoting Batman, right? Mr. Herlock Sholmes? Ah, yes, rings a vague bell. Oh, that detective business isn't really my thing, I'm afraid. Well, Mr. Sholmes is in his element down there. Jolly good show. Another cup of tea, if you please, Joan. Now then, why don't you tell me what... Ah! For the umpteenth time, woman, will you watch what you're bally well doing? I shall be serving dinner shortly, sir. Yes, of course. Frightfully rude of me, but I'm afraid I shall have to ask you to take your leave if you'd be so kind. Oh, yes, of course. We are deeply grateful for all your assistance. Not at all, not at all. Don't get much chance to talk with young foreigners like yourself. It's been a pleasure. Best of luck and all that. Perhaps you could see yourselves out. It's wilding. I love it too. I love it too. According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garadeb is hiding something. And since no other avenues of investigation seem open to us at the moment, perhaps we should do some digging. Well, I've already looked at everything in here. They get pretty crazy. Even with us having like a separate chat in the... Sholmes! Sir! Do you mind? What the fuck are you doing? Ah, what's he doing over there? Mr. Sholmes! Aha! We meet again, my dear fellows. Good gracious, when did you sneak up in here? Herlock Sholmes, sir, at your service. Whatever were you doing over by the window? I'm given to watching the evening sky as the sun sets, madame. Yet sadly, cheerful as the room downstairs undoubtedly is, it lacks an aperture for such observation. So I took the liberty of borrowing a small corner of space by the window up here. Well. Keeping an eye to one's windows at dusk is the prudent thing to do in London, I'm gathering. And take a sip of my tea. Sholmes, yes. Sherlock Holmes has been changed to Herlock Sholmes. Because copyright, I guess? I think? I don't know. Herlock Sholmes. Ah, and one other thing, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, me? I thought perhaps you might be in need of a certain great detective's great mind. Because the Conan Doyle essays are some real diva. Yeah, that doesn't seem that far-fetched to me. Community challenge, 95% complete. Which one? Is it gonna tell me? Wow, that's a lot of points. You guys were great. Which one was it? Ocarina of Time Randomizer. Ooh, that one's gonna be fun. Oh, there's a star bouncing around. You guys can jump up and catch it if you want. With your little avatars. Just a fun thing to do. Wait, he's not talking about... Is he... Another community challenge, 75% complete. Oh my gosh, you guys are using your points. Oh wow, that's a lot of points. Is that the... Oh, that's the cosplay one, right? I think so. It's hard to read sometimes. But is he... I didn't expect to be going through that again so soon. If you type in ! jump, you can make your character jump. Yep, there you go. Yay, I'm glad you found it. Do you mean Mr. Sholmes? There is a mighty secret in this modest room. My eyes... Let's try that again. My eyes see even the most trivial of trifles. I take it you're prepared, Mr. Naruhodo? I think so. There is just enough time for one of my greatly admired great deductions. Let us conclude the matter before dark. All right, deduction time. Mr. Garrideb, though it would seem you are a military man of considerably distinguished service, your standing as a landlord is most certainly not what one might call first-rate. I'm afraid, sir, that it is all too clear to me. There are two conclusions I've been able to draw by careful observation of your living arrangements. I beg your pardon? The first is that even as we speak, you are concealing the presence of a ferocious beast in your care. A ferocious beast? And the second is that as a result of the beast's violent rampage, you have lost something very dear to you. Mr. Naruhodo, look! The old man's broken out in a cold sweat. Unbelievably, it seems Mr. Sholmes' conclusions are both spot on. Thank you, I will hydrate. I don't have any water, but I'm drinking some nice peach tea. I've been on a kick with peach tea. I think it's because I'm desperate for, like, spring and summer weather. And it makes me feel, like, summery and springy. How could you possibly? How could I possibly know, you mean to inquire? Torrential downpour? Aw, I like the rain. It's pretty standard sunny over here. It's cold as shit, though. I hate the cold. The answer couldn't be simpler, sir. For in the dense jungle of logic and reasoning, I am the king of beasts. Okay. I'm taking a screenshot because I need that line to be immortalized on my Switch. And I know only too well that wild beasts are not easily tamed. So, shall we begin? Once again, Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. The great deduction, the game is afoot. Nature of the beast. It certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see that a fearsome beast has been on the rampage of late within these four walls. Thus, we are faced with a question. What form might this beast take? Ah, for a man with a military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Your furtive glance, Mr. Garrideb, leads us directly to the answer. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by the lion statue. Yes, though an army man, you appear unimposing at best. A fact that that has fueled your admiration for the mighty lion, the king of beasts.
What is this piffle, I ask you?
In the end, your admiration became so great, in fact, that you had a living, breathing specimen shipped from India, which you tried to keep in this very house.
What?
Yet living with such a wild beast proved more difficult than you had imagined. The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Well... Yet as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to? Madame? Me? I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain to me with one glance in your direction. It is. Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. For protruding from its from it is a handbill advertising a circus show. Oh god, another circus. Yes, you sought to dispose of this terrifying lion, Mr. Garadeb. At Batty's Circus. Batty? Wait, is that a reference to... Interesting. A traveling show currently sojourning in a nearby park. I have observed the tents. You sold the savage lion, sir, to the circus troupe.
I most certainly did not.
I believe I made my point. The fearsome beast which ran amok in this room was an Indian lion. And a simple visit to the circus now will reveal the lion prancing jubilantly through the ring of fire. Conclusion, a rampaging Asiatic lion. I guess. Alright, the aftermath. Now, Mr. Garadeb. It is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed, in that blithe pose, the distress this loss has caused you is veritably tangible. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by that supporting arm. Amid fits of tears, you let your beloved beast go. The strain of losing something so dear to you is clearly visible in your visage.
Nonsense, man, I simply...
But what we must now ask ourselves is the true cause of this pain. And we need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, it is this pile of bills that has given rise to the pain you suffer. Relatable. Every envelope contains another demand for payment. That's just adulting, my man. For cartloads of meat, potatoes, wheat, and tea. Indeed, feeding your beloved has had a devastating impact on the financial circumstances of your household. Oh, he's got his goggles on now. And so, you had no choice but to let it go.
Yes, well,
Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack. Unimaginable? The aftermath of which can be clearly seen by observing the carpet over there. A very expensive woolen carpet, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, dearie me. What could have caused such a destructive outburst? This time, madam, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eye has settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the Tower of Cakes. There is no creature more dangerous on this earth than a beast with an unsatiated appetite. Was it or was it not once said by a certain noblewoman, if they have no bread, let them eat cake? It actually was not said, but okay. Moving right along. Food is at the heart of all tragedy, in fact. No, it's not. It's at the heart of every... What's the opposite of tragedy? Not comedy. Food is good. That's what I'm trying to say.
Whatever do you mean?
Having tired of the taste of cake, the beast began to stalk its next prey. I'm sure I need not spell out the nature of this final act of destruction carried out by the beast. There is only one logical conclusion. Worked into a frenzy by hunger, the lion attacked and ate the carpet. The teeth marks in the carpet are a perfect match with those of a lion I once saw in India. So he's been to India. That's cool. Carpet gnawed by the starving lion. That's not what happened at all. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this beastly puzzle. Nice try, buddy. I'll give you like an 85%. You get a B.
What is the matter with you, Joan? You're pouring scalding.
That's not the right word. It's not scolding, it's scalding. Scalding hot tea all over me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Garrett. I'm afraid I didn't notice.
My deductions can be oh my god. I can speak, I swear. My deductions can be startlingly sharp. It stands to reason that your cup runneth over. Indeed, my revelations can make people spill tears at times, too.
Oh.
Mr. Sholmes, sorry to butt in again, but could I make an observation?
Why, certainly, Mr. Naruhodo.
What is it, again? Well, your deductions just now, do you really think a lion could have fit inside a room of this size?
Indeed, it is the only explanation for the facts. The terrifying truth all too often lies beyond the realms of common sense.
But wouldn't it be an idea to consider what lies inside the realms of common sense as well?
But if an uncaged lion had run amok in this very room, surely Mr. Garradeb and his maid would have been hurt, or worse.
Ah, that's where you are stuck. No doubt the former military man held his own against the beast using that large cannon. I thought you said that they sold the lion to the circus.
And what about the food? Meat and potatoes are one thing. But I don't believe I've ever heard of a lion that drinks tea.
Ah, my dear Miss Susato, it occurs to me with some regularity that irrespective of race and breeding, whenever anyone lands on Great British soil, they are infused with a highly appropriate taste for afternoon tea. The tea, it takes over you.
Oh, what a glorious notion. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, it's your turn to shine again.
I had a feeling that was coming.
A slight massage, that's all Mr. Sholme's deductions need. You can do it!
Excellent. I've been waiting for my trusty partner in deduction to step forward, Mr. Naruhodo.
I'm partner now. We don't even know yet whether or not this is going to help with Mr. Natsume's case. Still, uncovering the truth is always worthwhile, whatever the motivation. Yeah, let's do it! At least that's what I want to believe. Well, let us start again, from the beginning, of Sherlock Holmes' Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. Alright. Course correction. Let's do it. It's not a lion. It cannot be a lion. I very much doubt it's a lion. Definitely something went wrong, but it doesn't look like a lion. I'm thinking the cannon went off or something. What form might the beast... I don't think he's looking at the... I think he's looking at the metal that's next to the lion. No, not the lion statue. I really didn't see the lion thing coming.
No, but if you observe Mr. Garradeb's reaction, it rather seems as though some beast did indeed run amok here in this room.
Yes, something with a very fierce nature.
But it couldn't have been a lion transported from India.
So what was it then?
We must follow Mr. Garradeb's gaze.
That will lead us to the true answer. Oh, sorry, that was still her. Whatever. I think...
won't let me select that. Mortar shells. He's looking at the mortar shells then. These are shells for the cannon, are they? What a strange place to keep. Yeah, maybe. I don't feel like it's wise to keep those. Are those live? Like, they're right next to the fire.
I imagine they have some significance to Mr. Garrideb from his time in the army. Ah, of course, he mentioned a battle to us before, didn't he? Do you remember? He said that he'd been shot in the knee. Perhaps it was one of these that hit him.
Jesus, if he was shot, his whole entire leg would have been blown off if it was hit with one of those. Yeah, exactly. If a round that size had hit his knee, there'd be nothing left of it. Or Mr. Garrideb, for that matter. Yeah, he'd be fucking dead. Mr. Sholme has a Persian slipper. And this man has spent shells. Perhaps it's customary in Britain to display, well, rubbish on the mantelpiece. Yeah, I would say it's the mortar shells. Was that wrong? The true identity of the beast that tore this room apart is these shells, with their butter wouldn't melt accomplice, the cannon. But war is good for nothing. It only brings destruction. Something we must all strive to understand. Oh, hello, Midna. Are you coming to make your appearance? Are you just coming to get in my face? What spectacularly contrived logic led you to this mindless conclusion? Oh, well, it's supposed to be a logic and reasoning spectacular, so I thought I'd contribute to the show. So that was wrong. This is my show, Mr. Naruhodo. Kindly perform any peculiar experiments on your own stage. Ugh. Savage. Okay. That was incorrect.
Well, what we do know with some certainty is that a destructive creature has been at work in this room.
And that Mr. Garrideb inadvertently looked in the direction. I think maybe the fire? Yes, if we investigate thoroughly enough, we ought to find the answer.
What did Mr. Garrideb turn to look at? It's here somewhere. We simply need to find out.
All right. Maybe behind? Behind the lion statue. Well, this is a lion statue that Mr. Sholmes picked out.
Yes, I wonder. Perhaps if you did live with a lion, it would prove to be a rather sweet companion.
I have a mini one.
I have a little mini one right here.
Don't I? Yeah. You're a mini little tiger / lion. You descended from them, so it's not totally wrong. She's been so needy today. Haven't you? Nope. Ain't got a lot to say. What's the problem? Cat got your tongue? Anyway, I think that's like a mouse trying to tell its family that the cat around the house is sweet.
I suppose it is a bit of a flight of fancy, isn't it?
Anyway, the beast we're looking for is something else. Let's have a good look around. Behind. Oh, there it is. I can photograph frame. Oh. What's this photograph?
It appears to be from Mr. Garrideb's wedding.
He looks very happy. Oh, sorry. That's still her. He looks very happy, doesn't he? He does, but you can't make out his bride. It's definitely the woman that's in the room.
No, how unfortunate. Something must have struck the glass directly over the woman's face.
I wonder what happened. Probably best not to delve too deeply here. Oh, Kyle's online. Hi, Kyle. I guess maybe he's... I would be... It doesn't look like there's anything else, so... I'm gonna go for this. No, that was wrong still? Behind the lion statue on the mantelpiece, almost deliberately hidden from view, is a photograph. Though I have yet to examine it in detail, I can assure you it... But I just did examine it in detail, did I not? Because I'm employing an extremely advanced detection technique called jumping to conclusions, you see. That was still wrong. What spectacularly contrived... Oh, that's still... Okay, skip. Ugh, how is that still wrong? Okay.
The glass is broken, so you can't see the bride's face at all.
But no amount of cracks could hide the woman's plump form. Okay, well... I think powerful would be kinder than plump, Mr. Naruhodo. Probably. Yes, she certainly looks that. There's a lot of horsepower. That's really... Why are we talking about this? Can we move on? Not someone you'd want to upset, that's for sure. That's quite... Jumping to conclusions, indeed.
Oh, look! Have you noticed her wedding ring? It's very large, isn't it?
Yes, that's an unusual design.
Looks like some sort of embellished sunflower.
Pretty.
This must have been when Mr. Garradeb was still in the army.
He seems to be carrying his rather stout bride effortlessly and beaming a smile at the same time. Aw.
I suppose he was very strong in his younger years.
Hard to imagine now. He's as thin as a rake. Age will do that, and stress will do that. Okay. Maybe...
Take that!
Ah, the music stopped. So the newlywed bride... The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by that newlywed bride. That is a weird way to phrase that, but okay. Precisely, Mr. Naruhodo. No other explanation could possibly fit. Yes, this framed print pictures your wife, Mr. Garradeb. And while we lament the fact that her face is obscured, we can still make out her mighty arms and note the considerable horsepower they must contain. Why are we talking about her like this? This is weird. Oh, Indeed, surely any woman of such powerful constitution would be honored to be described as a beast. Why don't you ask her, okay? Honored might be stretching a point. Too late. The fact remains that the beast which so clearly savaged this room was your wife, Mr. Garradeb. Rude. Okay. The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence.
Well...
Yet as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to? Madame?
Me?
I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain to me with one glance in your direction.
It is.
Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts.
The poor, fragile, defenseless woman is beside herself.
Well, I don't know about fragile.
Oh dear. Anyway, Mr. Sholmes is quite right. There's no sign of a Miss Garradeb anywhere.
But it seems there may be a clue as to her whereabouts. A clue that this maid is trying to hide. I wonder where Mr. Garradeb's wife could be. Are y'all really that dumb? Like, are y'all really that dumb? Where's her ring?
Take that!
The ring. The ring! The wedding ring! Your wedding ring gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. Ah! Indeed it does. That flowery band gleaming on your finger gives you away. For it is identical to the one shown on the hand of Mr. Garradeb's bride in this photographic print. In other words, you are no ordinary household maid. You're a housewife! No. You are Mr. Garradeb's lucky bride. You are Miss Garradeb herself.
Oh, my word!
Why would they keep that a secret? I don't understand why they would keep that a secret. Well, jolly fine detecting, sir. As you rightly surmised, this is the wife, yes, my Joan. Rather let herself go, you... Good for you, girlie. Rude as hell. Rude as hell. It would appear that you don't live in the most comfortable of circumstances. After all, you are a retired army man, yet you are in the business of renting out rooms. I would assume, therefore, you have insufficient means to employ a maid. Would that be correct? It's not right, I tell you. I was 2nd Lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment. A man has his pride, don't you know? By golly, it's a sorry thing when a chap can't even afford to have a single maid in his employ.
Yes, here in London one is rather judged.
A household cannot be considered worthy of society if it employs no staff at all. Though in my considered opinion, such concerns about appearances are a folly. Yeah, it's kind of dumb. You mean Mr. Garrideb has his wife work as his maid? Precisely. Am I right, Mr. Garrideb? Only in company, obviously. But listen here. This must remain a secret. Tip-top secret, please. The raging wife of Mr. Garrideb. This is kind of sexist. Like, this is a little. Okay, so now for the second part. It's plainly clear that you still have a deep feelings for... Well, duh, it's his wife. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed supporting arm. Mr. Sholmes is quite something. He's still calling Mr. Garrideb's wife a beast.
Yes, as a woman, that feels rather uncomfortable.
But Miss Garrideb is standing beside her husband as we speak. In other words, he hasn't lost his beloved at all, has he?
Oh, how true. So perhaps that supporting arm that seems to be propping up his head has some other significance then.
According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garrideb's pain is tangible. Though... Oh, sorry. Though. I read that wrong. What could that pose of his really signify? Ah, the slapped cheek. Ha ha ha! Yeah, that... Wait, I want to see what they say about this. Oh my, look at that bright red mark. He probably said something rude as hell to her, and she fucking snapped.
Gosh, that's quite something and clearly made by somebody's hand.
Yes, Mr. Garrideb has been slapped on the face, it seems. Hard. I don't know, maybe he's into that. I mean, I'm not gonna yuck anybody's yum. Could be into that.
I've never seen such a clearly defined mark. Whoever could have done such a thing?
Well, there's a very limited number of candidates, I'd say. Yeah, I'd say the slap cheek is definitely the culprit of why he's holding his arm up. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by that slapped cheek. And of course, the deliverer of that impressive mark on your cheek that refuses to fade was you, Madam Joan Garrideb.
Well, yes.
You have been desperate to hide the slap mark on your cheek, sir. Oh my god, I just realized what they're supposed to be. Oh my god. Okay, so she has like the sun ring, and look, if you look at her face, she's like very round faced, and she has like the bonnet frills. It's supposed to be like sun, and if you look at him, the way he's facing, his face is like a crescent moon. They're supposed to be the sun and the moon. That's really cute. That's really sweet in a way. I mean, they're probably not doing so well, but I mean, anyway. How the blazes, how did you work that out, man? Nothing escapes the notice of one trained in the art of observation, my dear fellow. That's why you haven't looked directly at us even once. To keep your other side from view. Well, Now, let us proceed to the next conundrum. Why were you subjected to such a violent snap? See, look at his face. It looks like a crescent moon. So it's like the sun and the moon. Like this. Sort of. Well, the other way, I guess, for you guys. My camera's reversed. Anyway. other words, we must ask ourselves, what caused Madame Geradeb to fly into a rage? Oh, look at her, she looks so guilty. And we need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, it is this pile of bills. I don't know what that book next to the bills is, but it probably is a diary or a journal.
Didn't Mr. Sholme say that the bills were all for the lion fodder?
Yes, but now we've established that the lion never existed, which can only mean that the thing responsible for gobbling up all that food was Mr. Geradeb's wife.
Mr. Naruhodo, she's a person, not a thing.
Damn straight. Yes, well, she's also a person who gave her husband the mighty slap round the face. He probably deserved it. One so hard that it left a perfect hand mark, in fact. He probably was being an asshole.
Yes, why would a woman want to hit her husband with such force, I wonder?
Okay, well, I'm starting to think about it. Maybe this is not a good... I'd love to know the answer to that question. What is this? What is this?
Ah, someone must be reading this book at the moment. There's a bookmark in here, look. Mr. Geradeb is clearly an avid reader.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't think this is a bookmark. Oh, no! It's got a kissy mark on it!
Oh no, so it isn't. It's a note written in a woman's hand.
Oh, boy. Ooh.
Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary.
Oh, who the fuck is this Mary bitch? And look next to the signature here.
Lip marks made with lipstick. Oh, what a passionate romantic gesture.
Don't get any ideas, Susanoo-san.
Oh dear, I'm sorry.
So this bookmark is actually a love note then. Ooh, I think I know why. There's some dishes here too. I think I know why.
Take that!
Ugh, that's not looking great. The plot dummy thickens. Yes, it is this love note that has given rise to the pain you suffer. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. Passionate indeed. Oh, she's so pissed. Look at her. Perhaps the sender of this note is a certain Miss Mary is the fly in the ointment here. Oh, she slapped him again! But I don't know the bally woman. You don't know her? That note wasn't written to me. It was just in the book. I don't know how it got there. It was just in there, you say? That's right. That's why I've been... Ah!
Unlikely study.
Now listen here, Joan, old thing. I've explained at the time. I bought the book in the second-hand place and the note must already have been there. So the previous owner of the book was using the note as a bookmark, you mean? That's right. That's what I've been saying. She is...
Unlikely study.
She is angry. For heaven's sake, woman, look at the name. It's written to James. My name, in case you've forgotten, is John.
Unlikely study.
Are you questioning my name now? And there we have it. Arouse the suspicions of the female heart and you unleash a beast with the most ferocious bite. In other words, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack.
Unimaginable.
The aftermath of which can be clearly seen by observing the carpet over there. Okay, that's just because that's clearly burnt carpet because of the candle.
Oh, dearie me.
What could have caused such a destructive outburst? This time, madam, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eye has settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the tower of cakes. Nope. Nope, nope.
But surely Miss Garradeb didn't eat the carpet.
No, of course not. But there doesn't seem to be any doubt that the state of disarray that this room is in is a result of her wild temper.
No, that's true. So this is the last part of Mr. Sholme's seduction that we need to fix. We need only to follow Miss Garradeb's gaze, and that will tell us the real answer.
Alright, let's see what we can see.
Yes.
The candle. I know it's the candle. Is this candle here? Well, I guess I have to examine it first. The carpet here has been ripped to shreds.
Yes, and according to Mr. Sholme's seduction, the tears the tears match those made by an Indian lion's teeth exactly.
Oh, look here.
What is it?
If you look closely at the edge, you can see scorch marks, because it was burnt.
Oh, yes you can. In that case, perhaps the carpet wasn't eaten in the normal sense at all.
Let's rethink this with that in mind. Okay. Can I look at the candle, please? To be very precise. Candle? Can I... Oh, the missing candlestick. It won't let me... Oh, there it goes.
This looks like a very old candlestick, doesn't it?
The base looks too small. Surely it's very unstable. It looks to me like even the slightest knock would make it topple over.
Oh dear, that would be dangerous.
Wait, take a closer look at this. There's one candle missing.
Yes, I didn't notice that before.
Why is that, I wonder? Why is one candle of the three missing from its holder? Because it fell off and burned the carpet.
Take that!
Yay! I got it right! I'm doing good. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the candlestick. Most illuminating, my dear fellow, and of course, the only possible way out of this logical labyrinth. Yes, the remnants of a ferocious attack in which the carpet was devoured are clearly visible. Indeed they are. The scorch marks at the edge clearly give the truth away. Scorch marks? It would appear that this room was the scene of a little marital altercation. Yeah, I would say. Miss Garradeb's mighty arm muscles left an impression not only on her husband's face, but on the entire room. The force of her strike caused a candle to fall from the holder. And in seconds, the carpet was alight and the whole corner of the room in flames. Yes, for the most ferocious beast in this world is neither violent lion nor a vengeful woman, but fire. And in this room, that ferocious beast bared its claws and ran amok. Eloquently put, my dear fellow. So, you see, there is but one conclusion here. After the sparks of marital discord flew, this room was the scene of a fire. Oh, he's so thin that his... oh God! Don't die! Don't die! Don't die, sir! Is he dead? Please don't die. I can't handle it if he dies. Deduction complete. Elementary! It's these dashed long winter nights, you know, nothing to do but read in front of the fire. Luckily, there's a jolly good second-hand bookshop just round the corner. Buy all my novels there. And in the pages of one particular novel, you discovered some rather illicit material.
For which your wife admonished you harshly, it seems.
Don't know about admonished. Demolished might rather...
Words are hard and I trip.
Demolished might be rather closer to the mark. And beast is most certainly an apt description. Here we go again. And the carpet? Was that destroyed by fire when a candle fell on the floor?
Afraid to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bolly thing. I was caught between the old stick's rays and the raging flames.
You paint a torrid picture, sir. One that would have been most entertaining. That's sympathy for you.
Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bolly furniture started going up as well. We've had to hide the mess behind that screen for the time being.
Oh dear.
Over here, Mr. Garrett?
Well, you have nothing more to hide now, if you'll allow me. Oof.
Had all my favorite old novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got hold of them, that was it. Whoosh! Up in smoke.
Gosh.
Then the wife started hurling things at me.
What a terrible sight it must have been.
There was I, back up against the window under heavy enemy fire, incendiary books incoming 10 to the dozen. Worst of it is, I lost my favorites, book called The Lion's Pride.
The Lion's Pride. Ah, yes, your notorious love of big cats is coming through again.
I assure you the title didn't influence my choice in the slightest.
So the poor man really did lose something dear to him as a result of the ferocious beast's rampage.
Mr. Sholme's deductions turned out to be correct once again.
It can only be described as a great British wonder.
I tell you, it was total carnage. Flames everywhere and the old stick in full fettle.
Out of interest, what time of day was that?
Not sure I can remember. It was 2 days ago now. Let's see. Around 5 o'clock, I think.
So at exactly the same time as a terrifying incident that was unfolding outside your window on the street below.
Even more terrifying on the inside, I can assure you. The whole of Blighty could have been flattened outside my window at that moment, and I wouldn't have noticed a dashed thing.
Oh, really?
Wow, awkward silence, I guess. Mr. Sholmes. Yes, Mr. Naruhodo, what can I do for you? Well, I think we've got to the bottom of Mr. Garredeb's situation now, but what does it have to do with Mr. Natsume's circumstances? I can't help you there, I'm afraid. What? My dear fellow, if you recall, I did say as much from the outset. I warned you that although I knew the retired army man to be hiding something, I could not be sure whether his secret would prove to be of relevance or not. I just knew you were going to say that. Now, Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't lose heart. Bear in mind that all things fall into one of only two categories, those relevant to the case and those not. That makes no sense to me. Well, no matter. It is of far greater importance that you make up your mind now. Sorry? Visiting hours at the prison will soon be over. Oh no, is it that time already?
If we're to accept Mr. Natsume's case, we have official paperwork to attend to.
So that's it. No more time to think.
Perhaps you'd like to betake yourselves to bidding us farewell now. I must prepare supper for Mr. Garredeb.
Oh yes, I'm so sorry.
Thank you both very much for your time.
Soseki-san will be waiting for us, and I'm going to have to give him an answer. Bye! To the prison! We're going to jail. Briar Road.
It's time, Mr. Naruhodo. We must hurry back to the prison.
Yes, I know. Let's hail a carriage. Oh, something's happening. Oh.
What's the matter?
It looks like something's going on over there in front of the Garredeb's house. Oh? Oh? Oh my god, who is this fabulous man? Oh my god. Oh my god. I have to give him a fabulous voice. Look at him. Wait. Oh my god, hold on. I'm gonna take a sip of my tea to prepare myself. Oh my god. I know thee not, old man, fall to thy prayers. Oh god, now I have another voice to do. Shit, I did not think.
Who are you calling an old man, you rum-looking niminy-piminy?
There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy.
Who's this Horatio fella, eh? What are you on about?
Oh my god.
Excuse me.
What the? Who are you now?
I'm sorry. It just looked as though there might be some problem here. And my associate here, Mr. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, is a lawyer, you see.
A lawyer? Well,
If I can be of any assistance, I'd be happy to help. I'm from Japan, but I've studied English law.
fine. I'll be on my way for today, but mark my words. This ain't over yet.
Get thee to a nunnery.
Do I look like a bloomin' nun to you?
Oh my god. How ironic that we were just talking about Hamlet when the stream started, and now we have Shakespeare McGee here.
I do hope you're not injured.
Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so gentle. Thank you. What was that all about? There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. I'm not Horatio either.
Forgive the inquiry, sir, but are you a lodger here in the Garadep residence?
Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so right. Yes, I do dwell in this humble abode. Mr. Garadeb mentioned that he had another lodger, didn't he? This must be the man. Oh my gosh, my nose is so stuffed up. Sorry, y'all. Do you happen to know the other lodger who lives on the first floor? Oh, yes, a gentleman named Natsume. Oh, more worthy a columnist in my battle of words ne'er could there be. Sorry, battle, did you say? Who is the stronger, Hamlet or Macbeth, Mr. Natsume? I sped long into the night. Hamlet, actually. Weirdly enough, I would argue. Macbeth is like toxic masculinity, and Hamlet is like Robert Pattinson Batman, I have vengeance. Like, he seems kind of emo and kind of like a piss baby, but he's actually like really strong to handle like a lot of trauma and come out the other side. But Macbeth is like a total douchebag. Like a total douchebag. I could argue that.
I don't fully understand, but it seems Mr. Natsume and this gentleman are acquaintances at least.
So, fair maiden, so good gentleman. I can tarry here no longer.
Fare thee well. I didn't really understand him, but I think he's returned to his room.
It seems he's unaware of what's happened to Mr. Natsume, so he can't really help us. With Soseki-san and that man as lodgers, the Garadeb house is certainly full of eccentrics. Anyway, I'll go and find a carriage.
Yes, I'm sure Mr. Natsume is eagerly waiting our return.
Let's hope we can get to the prison before visiting hours are over. Hopefully, otherwise we're kind of screwed, huh?
Oh, it's you! You're here, you came! Locum student Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire! I can't believe you came back! I'm so touched! so sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Natsume. Oh, no, think nothing of it. Relax. If I were a cat, I would purr with pleasure at the company of such fine compatriots. Noble, nurturing, never failing Nipponese.
I wonder, see, now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like I should like almost try to give, he's giving me, you know, Crocker from Fairly Odd Parents? Like, Fairly Odd Parents! Like, that's the kind of vibe that I'm getting from him. Like, just very paranoid and anxious kind of guy. Okay, now, let's not get carried away. Oh, I quite agree. Ooh, who is talking now? Oh, who is this? There's nothing more reassuring than the familiarity of one's native land. On the other hand... Oh! It is through friendship transcending international borders that one truly appreciates the fact. Such is my belief, at least.
It's you! The miserable, rotten spy! Hairlock Sholmes!
Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing here? I have no intention of doing anything per se, save observing, of course.
Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
Well, having encountered some curious reading material in that gloomful room, and having unmasked the secret identity of that eccentric pair, I decided I should drop in on my way home to see how our divested friend is faring.
Gloomful room?
At least your accommodation here offers a window, my dear fellow. In that sense, it is the superior option. Anyway, I must commend you on your taste in books. My day has been a delight and cost me not a penny.
Ah! You! How dare you! Hairlock Sholmes! Ugh. I've had it. I'm through. I'm at the end of my rope. I should never have come to Great Britain. It was a terrible mistake. Haunted by spirits in those accursed lodgings, no doubt my luck will be cursed in tomorrow's trial as well. My whole life is bedamned!
What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo? He mentioned that once before, didn't he? That his lodgings were cursed, I mean. And there is much truth in Mr. Mustache's words. What? Cursed is a wholly appropriate description, I would say, for the man's lodgings, and indeed for tomorrow's trial. What's that supposed to mean? Yeah, what is that supposed to mean? Cursed trial. Mr. Natsume, what did you mean by what you said just now? About the trial tomorrow being cursed.
Oh no! Why? Why are you looking so grave? You're making me nervous. I was just getting carried away, that's all. I didn't mean anything by it.
Oh, I see. That's really agitated him.
You don't mean the trial really is cursed somehow?
Are you referring to the prosecutor, the Reaper of the Bailey?
The Reaper? Oh no, what do you mean? Please, tell me! Summarize it succinctly in 16 salient words!
No defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper... No defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution ever. That was 16. That was 16 words. Oh my gosh. Let me... Sorry about that. I needed to just... I needed to blow my nose and I didn't want to do it right into the mic.
Oh my goodness, can it really be true? That was 16 words exactly!
Yesterday, Mr. Naruhodo successfully defended someone against the Reaper. But then, after the trial was over, the defendant passed away in unusual circumstances.
Mr. McGill did.
What?
Ah, I'm impressed, Mr. Sato. You have an eye for detail.
Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us.
Mr. Sholmes. Surely it can't be that having failed to have the accused, Freudian slip, the accused convicted. Lord Van Zieks killed the man himself.
Oh no, we couldn't have, surely.
You have some wonderful notions. Sorry? The man isn't a mass murderer. He's a court prosecutor, my dear fellow.
Oh, yes. Why, of course he is.
Of course he is. Then why are you trying to scare me?
It could be said, however, that the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypothesis. What on earth do you mean by that? The Reaper. Van Zieks is a quite exceptional man. However, in London courts of law, exceptional does not equate to winning every case without exception.
That's good.
So Seki-san looks like he's going to cry tears of joy. As you are no doubt aware, in a British criminal trial there is both a judge and a jury. The judge officiates based on the letter of the law, whilst the jury offers public opinion and common sense. It is an excellent system whereby the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view. However, public opinion in particular is somewhat easily manipulated. Right. Criminals and corrupt lawyers, for that matter, can use it to their advantage. By any means at their disposal, contriving evidence, calling impostors as witnesses, and so on. By such underhand means, those who would want to are able to sway the jury, which means that even in the light of irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail.
But it means the wrong verdict can be passed.
And sadly, it is from time to time, my dear madam. It is simply the reality of the situation. And that's all right? Hey, look, it's better than what happens later on in the series. Or earlier in the series? Later on in the timeline. Earlier in the series. However, those indicted by Lord Van Zieks cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed.
Oh my.
Though the adjudication may see them leave the courtroom with their freedom, within months they all disappear. It's most striking.
Disappear? But how?
By all manner of misfortune, sir. Perhaps they are trampled under a passing carriage. Perhaps they fall into Thames and drown. Perhaps they are suddenly overcome by a raging fever, or perhaps attacked by highwaymen.
Oh, no.
All examples of the reality of events here in London, I'm afraid, Mr. Naruhodo.
I knew it. I'm a dead dodo, done for, doomed.
Alright, so what about your house? When you said accursed lodgings before, you were referring to your room at Mr. Garridub's house, I assume. Do you mean to say you believe the place is cursed?
It's been a year now since I came to Great Britain, but I'd only been in London a week before I started to notice strange feelings in myself.
That didn't take long then.
Everywhere I looked, there were foreign faces staring at me, laughing behind my back. I was sure people were talking about me. I started to become nervous about going outside. They were always staring at me, all the time, from dawn till dusk. So I shut myself away in my room, but even that didn't help. The fear wouldn't go away.
You must have been very lonely having been away from your homeland for such a long time.
I've had to move a number of times, most recently to that room on Briar Road a week ago now.
Yes, why did you choose there? It seems a little inconvenient.
The rent is cheap. I have so little money it appealed to me straight away. Of course, I asked why it was so affordable. The landlord just simpered and said, "The room is cursed." Oops. He quickly tried to cover his mistake, but it was too late, so I told him, "If you have something to say, then say it, but if not, don't mention it in the first place."
Yes, well said.
But it was true. It was all true.
You mean the room really is cursed then?
Ever since I moved into that windowless hellhole. My sleep has been plagued with nightmares. I awake feeling as though I'm being choked to death. And in my waking hours, people are stabbed in front of me as I walk down the street. I'm branded a killer, thrown in prison. Nobody wants to know me. I'm surrounded by scary, sinister spirits.
I mean, he's kind of got a point. Like, his life is kind of not great right now.
If there was someone, just one person by my side. Can no one find it in his or her heart to believe in me? Really, no one at all?
To believe. Yes, to believe. To believe. Mr. Sholmes. Ah, me, Mr. Naruhodo. Pray, what can I do for you? It's about the case on the SS Burya, if you recall. The Burya. Ah, that case. The one with the snake. Well, yes. At that time, I was the suspect, but you believed in me and listened to my side of the story. And you helped us to investigate. I did I? Interesting. What I want to know is why. Why did you believe me? I see, yes. You mean... Because you were a grimly dressed, shady Eastern fellow found with the victim in a locked room. Well, if you'd like, yes, that was a little racist. I'm a little surprised that the answer requires explanation, my dear fellow. It's quite simple, really. You said, I didn't do it. But I could have been lying. Surely you must have had your doubts. You must have suspected me a little. I think perhaps you have misunderstood. I neither recall believing in you, nor in that which you were telling me. What? You see, the only things I believe in are those I choose to believe in.
What do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
I make up my own mind about what is to be believed and what is not. If I should like to believe in something, I do. The circumstances can hang as far as I'm concerned. But I could have betrayed your trust. In that case, I should have made an elementary error in judgment, nothing more. Betrayal of trust is an overused excuse, in my opinion. Meaning, whether or not one should trust another is, in the final analysis, down to oneself. Yes! Yes, that's what I say! Because you know what? If someone's gonna lie to you, that is a reflection on them, not a reflection on you. Do not let the world harden you. It is a matter of whether or not one can trust oneself.
Yes, he's right. He's right. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
Whether or not I can believe in myself. I'm so pissed that he is dead. I'm so pissed. I'm still pissed about it. I'm still angry. A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his client. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself. I'm so pissed that he's dead! Ugh. You were so right, Kazuma. Man. Well, my dear fellows, it is time we were leaving, I believe.
Already?
Visiting hours... Let's try that again. Visiting hours are over. The guard will be here shortly to escort us out. There is a oh my god. There is a restaurant near here that serves excellent trout. Would you care to join me? Ah, trout. I like trout.
Oh dear, there's never enough time, is there?
Come on. Mr. Natsume, if you'd like, in the trial tomorrow, I'd be happy to represent you. Oh, look at him! He's gonna cry!
Welcome, student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
As I said, I only experienced a British courtroom for the first time yesterday. And although the man I was representing was found not guilty, I lost sight of something crucial.
Something crucial.
What to believe in, the defendant, justice, or the truth. How to believe, even. But I think I finally worked it out. I've decided I must believe in myself above all else, to trust my instincts.
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo.
And my instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsume, are innocent of this crime. And it's imperative that we prove that in court.
Locum student Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire.
I will fight for your innocence until the bitter end with every weapon available to me. So I hope you'll permit me to represent you tomorrow. Yay! We're doing it.
As I said when we first met, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who will listen to me in my native tongue.
Of course, Mr. Natsume. It would be fair to say, Mr. Naruhodo, that your mind was, in many ways, made up from the outset. You merely needed the events of today to fully realize it. Yes, I think you're right about that. It's been a roundabout journey, but I got there in the end. Mrs. Sato.
Yes?
Would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court?
Absolutely. As I said this morning, you may consider me your personal judicial assistant.
Yay! The shocking events of yesterday's trial still weigh heavily on my mind, but it's time to stop looking backwards. Cosmo believed in me, and Mr. Sholmes believes in me now too. So it's time. Time that I learned to believe in myself. Saseki-san has no one. He's all alone, so it's my job to help him, to fight his corner. Tomorrow, in the courtroom, with all the strength I can muster. Yeah! To be continued. Right now! We still doing this! But I do need a quick little break, because my nose is, like, trying to work against me. I'm gonna save real quick. Overwrite this save. Yes, please. Alright, we end the trial. But I'm gonna take a quick little break, like super quick, and I will be right back. be back. Okay, so we're going into the actual trial now. Here we go. The Old Bailey. Okay, I'm gonna take a big sip real quick. Because I'm about to have to do a lot of voices. Prepare for recycled voices. Because it's... Good gracious. Well, I never expected this. Who'd have thought we'd be back here again so soon?
We're on a study tour of Great Britain with the intention of learning the country's legal practices. In order to research the late court procedures here, we need as much court experience as possible.
Well, yes, I suppose that's true, but for the person in the dock, it may well be his or her one and only time in court, and it could be and it could be life-changing. In which case, treating it as research may seem a little crass.
Oh, when you put it like that, you're quite right.
Oh boy, I don't know who's talking. That's probably the client.
Good morning.
Ah, Mr. Natsume, good morning.
Oh dear, are you alright? Your eyes are terribly bloodshot.
The early bird catches the worm, as they say here in Britain.
Yes, I've heard that expression.
But I really don't want to catch a worm. So I tried desperately not to wake up early, but I was so worried I couldn't catch a wink. And now I'm absolutely exhausted as a result.
Good God. Do all literary people take things so literally?
Thank you for putting your faith in us today, Mr. Natsume.
This poor man.
I wish I had 9 lives. My whole future hangs in the balance. I'm too terrified to triple.
Simply give this man to a spa. Like, he needs some milk. He needs some fucking relaxation. Really? Because I can feel tremors in the floor.
I can't do this. I can't take it. Although, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
Yes?
I caught a glimpse of the public gallery as I walked by the courtroom. It looked like the opening night of the opera. There were so many people. I had no idea my case was such a notorious affair here in London.
Oh, neither did I. Do you know why that might be, Miss Usato?
I'm sorry, Mr. Naruhodo, but I have no idea.
So that all-knowing look on your face is just coincidence then, is it?
Don't hide the truth from me! It's because of the Reaper, isn't it?
Lord Van Zieks. Is that right, Miss Usato? Uh-oh.
I purchased as many different newspapers as I could find this morning, and yes, Lord Van Zieks is on the front page of every one.
I knew it.
Sometime after the prosecutor was dubbed the Reaper of the Bailey, he stopped appearing in court, it seems. It's been several years now, in fact, until the day before yesterday.
Yes, Inspector Gregson told us something similar, didn't he? Oh God. I apologize again for my terrible German accent. The trial 2 days ago marked Lord Van Zieks' return to the courtroom after a very long hiatus. The trial of Magnus McGilded. Ugh, what a harrowing experience that was.
I believe that appearance made even greater waves here in the capital than today's.
But we wouldn't have realized, of course, having only just arrived in the country.
Why is the Reaper back in the Bailey so soon for what appears to be a mundane murder? That's the question the papers are asking, and they're all speculating various answers.
Mundane! Mundane! It's the most significant saga of the century to some of us.
Oh dear, I meant no offense, Mr. Natsume, but that is how the papers are describing it.
Well, lest we also forget the fact that it could spark an international incident. Obviously, the reappearance of this infamous prosecutor has caught people's attention. But there's another blatant similarity with the trial of 2 days ago.
Yes, I agree.
Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. It's you.
Me? Well, I suppose that's true.
Both times it is you who stands against this legendary prosecutor. It can only mean that you're friends with the Reaper.
That's not what it can only mean. It probably means enemies, really. Please, I don't rub shoulders with Deathbringers.
I'm afraid that there's really only one other explanation. It can only be another example, Mr. Naruhodo, of your uncommon bad luck.
Thanks for that. Glad to see that carries through the Phoenix right line. Phoenix gets the worst luck of all.
Oh, this is just my luck. Why must I be represented by a man with such frail fortune? By the least lucky lawyer alive!
Well, let's not forget that it was you, Mr. Natsume, who asked me to represent you. Yes, it's true that I'm just a student, new to London with little in the way of experience or skills, or luck. But I promise you this. I will fight your corner until the bitter end, and I will believe in you, Mr. Natsume.
Oh, benevolent locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
You're not alone here with us, Mr. Natsume. Whatever happens, we will always be on your side.
Oh, benevolent non-locum assistant Miss Mikatoba Esquire S.
I just want to hug this man. He's had a hard go of it.
I am in your debt forever. I shall never forget this great kindness for as long as I live.
He needs to lay off the coffee, though. Let's be real. He does need to lay off the coffee, or maybe take decaf tea.
Mr. Natsume, counsel for the defense. The court session is about to begin. Kindly make your way into the courtroom at once.
I like doing that voice. That's probably one of my favorite voices to do because it's just so fun. All right then, Mr. Natsume, it's time. Let's go.
Yes!
You can do it. This is it. My second appearance in a British courtroom. My second trial against the Reaper. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because this time, I won't let my faith waver. I'll believe in my client to the last. Just like you believed in me. I believed I can do this now. I'm ready for this fight. Oh boy, let's go. 20th of February, 10 a.m. The Old Bailey courtroom. Oh god, what jurors am I gonna have to voice this time? Oh god, okay. Big sip, pray for my vocal cords.
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed.
Mr. fucking vampire over there. Oh shit. Why is the voice like fine? Why is the voice like fine? Oh my god. The prosecution is fully prepared, my lord. The defense is ready, my lord. The Nipponese are truly fascinating. See, this shit right here is why God damn it. The Nipponese are truly fascinating breed. Sorry, what? Yeah, you wanna fucking say that louder? Lord Strongheart has told me all about you. That you are a student who arrived in London but 2 days ago, a mere amateur. Do you have a point? Being a compatriot, you feel compelled to try to help the accused, I suppose. Typical Nipponese arrogant. Dude, you are racist as fuck.
Forgive me, but I do not believe arrogance is an appropriate description.
Susada-san, fucking get him, girlie. Get him, girlie.
After all, at our previous encounter, the defendant was found to be innocent.
I'll drink to that. My peach tea. I'm so scared I'm so scared to do all these voices. Oh boy. Very true, and a most fascinating if dark trial it was too. The tragic conclusion came later, of course. Here's to the acquitted and his unfortunate violent end. Jesus, the sass.
Thank you, councils. I see both sides are in fine fettle. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you ready to carry out your duties here in court as impartial members of the public?
No fucking way! He's back? Juror number one. Juror number one, my ass. That's Bruce Fairplay.
You never know when you might be down on your luck, but I believe in fair play for everyone.
See, I know she's British, but I kind of want to give her Southern debutante, so I'm gonna do that.
Well, I must warn you, I'm rather more ruthless than I appear.
Oh well, not me. What you see is what you get. I'm a peace-loving fellow. He looks like a robot, so I'm going to talk like a robot. No fucking way! Okay, thank God. I'm so glad I can breast a little easier to like recycle some. I can recycle some voices without feeling bad because they're literally recycled characters.
I'm afraid to say I think it's quite possible that mustached foreigner did the deed.
Come on, what are we waiting for? No doubt he did it anyway.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Oh god, I'm gonna take another sip. There's so many voices. I'm a one-woman show. Let's fucking do this.
Very well, let's proceed.
Your opening statement, if you please, Lord Van Zings. Very recently, Great Britain signed an alliance with a rising power in the Far East. The accused in the dock today is a student from that same land, a certain Mr. Suseki Natsume. And while our country has extended these foreign students the warmest of welcomes, regrettably, the kindness has not been returned. In fact, the student is accused of a most sinister act. Of plunging a knife into the back of an innocent woman who was doing nothing but walking down the street. A knife crime, I tell you from bitter experience, those are the worst. Bloody oath they are.
Just look at that sallow complexion and short stature. He's one of those.
Oh, that is wow, 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 wow. I'm not reading that. Jesus fucking Christ.
Come on, let's get this over with me now, everyone. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, didn't quite catch that.
I still haven't figured out his voice. You know what? Maybe it's fun. I'll just change it every single time it comes to his. Pray, forgive the discourtesy of smashing my hallowed chalice here in the skirt chamber. Allow me to call the first witness to the stand.
Very well.
Bailiff, lead the inspector in, please. That's not. I don't know what just. Oh my god. I am so in. You're kidding me. Okay. Your name and occupation, please. Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector, Scotland Yard. Would you please summarize the events of the case for the court inspector? The victim is thought to be a young woman in her 20s by the name of Olive Green. I beg your pardon, Inspector, thought to be. Yes, having been stabbed in the back by her attacker's knife, the victim fell unconscious. That was 3 days ago now, and she's been comatose ever since. What? So they don't even know who she is? She is for sure?
Comatose, I see, but her life is not in danger.
Fortunately for the Eastern students, the charge will not be murder. Pray elaborate on the details, Inspector. So, if I could ask everyone to look at this street map. As I mentioned, the incident took place 3 days ago at around 5 in the afternoon. It happened on the pavement running alongside Briar Road, a wide thoroughfare for horse-drawn vehicles. It had not long since stopped snowing as the victim, Miss Green, was walking down the street. Out of the blue, she was approached from behind by the accused and stabbed in the back. Luckily, the young lady's life was spared. She's currently being treated in one of the city's hospitals. But being unconscious as she is, we've been unable to take a statement from her, of course. This is the case file with everything we know about the victim so far.
Thank you, Inspector. The court will accept the documents as evidence, if you please.
His voice is also changing because, you know what? Fuck it. I'm trying my best here. What of the weapons that was used? Sir, I have that here. It was removed from the victim's back. Ouch. That big thing is starting to make me scared to walk down the street now.
With a heavy blade like that, almost anybody would have been able to stab the poor woman.
Even the scragged-looking Soseki-san, I suppose.
A common or garden jackknife, I would say, rather nondescript. Thank you, Inspector. The court accepts the blade as evidence.
Alright, so it's a large but commonplace folding knife. It was found lodged in the victim's back.
Now then, what do we know of the motive? Money or valuables, I presume?
From what we can tell by looking at the woman's possessions, it seems like she's a poor student herself. Hard to imagine she would have anything much worth pinching, my lord.
I see. Well, in that case, are we looking at some deep-seated resentment toward the victim?
I'm afraid I couldn't say. Apart from visiting secondhand bookshops, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, doesn't appear to get out much. He's making me crave fish and chips because he's got his little fish cone with his chips in it. It's with some malt vinegar and some tartar sauce. Oh, that pub shit. I love pub food. It's terrible, but I love it. Maybe like a pint of a sour beer. Man, I didn't get to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, and that makes me sad. A little bit. Not that I've ever really celebrated St. Patrick's Day, but I totally would have gone to an Irish pub, given the chance. At this moment in time, we haven't been able to establish any sort of connection between him and the victim.
Yes!
Don't raise your hand. What are you doing? If theft and grievance have been ruled out as the motive, what reason could Mr. Natsume possibly have had for stabbing the young woman? Yet you arrested the man in spite of that, in a totally unjustified and heavy-handed way.
Objection!
Excuse me. Oh my god, the whole bottle! That was so fabulous. Did you see that? He just like took his... Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging a freshly uncorked bottle into the public gallery. Yeah, that's rude as fuck. But your words have soured its hallowed bouquet. Okay. He's so extra. He's so extra. I hate him, but I love him, but I hate him. I'm so conflicted. Anyway. For it is you, my learned friend, who is being heavy-handed here. What? Scotland Yard does not arrest people without good cause. That should be beyond question. Inspector Gregson, the prosecution calls for your formal testimony. Explain to the court precisely why the constabulary came to arrest the Liberty student. Yes, sir. Alright, so we're getting a real testimony now. Mr. Natsume's arrest. As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred, and there was an unusually light fog. Visibility was reasonably good, and there was no one else around but the victim and the accused. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. Those being a number of old books he just bought. He was on his way home from a bookshop, it seems. It was just a matter of working out who the books belonged to, and we found the bloke to arrest him.
Old books, you say?
Yes, my lord. I have a photograph here of the scene of the crime taken immediately after the incident. Well, I'll be damned.
Ah, yes, I can clearly see the books to which you are referring. I will take that photographic print as evidence, please, Inspector.
A large knife can be seen thrust into the victim's back. Wonderful. rude! This is fucking racist. You Nipponese are a spineless breed, too cowardly to admit defeat. Jesus Christ. Denying everything despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. Well,
Forgive me, Lord Van Seeks, but the defendant is not denying everything, as you put it.
What are you doing, Miss Susato?
Do go on.
Mr. Natsume has admitted to playing some part in the incident. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo?
Well, now you mention it. When we visited him in the prison yesterday, he did tell us what had all happened.
As I was walking down that accursed pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman, wearing a green overcoat she was, and just as I went to overtake her, she suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed onto the cold, hard slabs of stone at my feet. I was terrified. I had to get away from there. So I ran as fast as my legs would carry me back to my accursed lodgings.
A green overcoat. Well, that's exactly what the woman in that print is wearing.
My photographic print in full color. What will the world come up with next?
The defendant has done nothing more than admit he fled the scene of a terrifying incident. That does not mean that he's guilty of the heinous crime of stabbing the woman in the back. There was nobody else here at the time. Just the two of them, the victim and the accused. In other words, there is nobody else who could possibly have stabbed the woman. A fact that the accused concedes. Sorry, the point. The point. It's the point. The point. Ugh.
It seems this cross-examination could prove to be pivotal, counsel.
Proceed, please. Yes, my lord. Nothing for it. I have to use this cross-examination to turn the tables here. It's our only chance. Let's do it. We're going to press every single statement like we normally do. Give my poor voice a break.
Hold it!
Hold it. A light fog, you say? Well, light for London. You could see the opposite side of the street for once. Not much farther, though. That's light, is it? Around these parts, yes. Not something I'd expect a Japanese fellow like yourself to know, of course. I've read that London is famous for its fog, but in my country, people usually imagine that gives a city a rather beautiful appearance. How quaint. Yes, well, it's not something us Londoners tend to romanticize, as I expect you can appreciate. I see. At this time of year, the fog causes a large number of accidents, especially when it's heavy. Sometimes you can't even see your own hand at the end of your arm.
Indeed, the other day I was very nearly trampled by horses before I could see the carriage they were pulling.
Ugh, Susato-san and I should definitely remember to stop, look, and listen. However, on these days, because that concerns us, the fog was somewhat lighter than usual. A fact no doubt lamented by the accused. This was a light fog. What evidence do I have? I have crime scene photograph, jackknife, case file. What does the case file even say? Okay, a young woman was rendered unconscious following a stab wound to the back. Victim, olive green, female, stout build, early 20s. Pavement officer, Roly Beat. Victim remains unconscious. Her name was gleaned from her personal effects. Other details are unknown. Apart from the single stab wound from the large knife, no other signs of injury were observed. The assailant was seen running away by the reporting officer and was successfully arrested the following day. I think the officer did it. I'm not even kidding. Your books, 17th of February, 4:45. Customer, Mr. Natsume. Sum of 2 shillings tendered in receipt of the picture of Monsieur Lecoq. Monsieur Lecoq? Monsieur Lecoq. Okay. Are these supposed to be book parodies? The picture of Monsieur Le... Is the picture of Monsieur Lecoq supposed to be a parody of the picture of Dorian Gray? I did have to read that in high school, and I actually kind of enjoyed it. And apparently, I tried watching a movie of it, and it was like, eh. And then there's actually 2 different movies of it. One was really boring, and the other one was very gay. Very gay. Emile for Gaboriau. I don't know what that one is parodying. I kind of want to say Waiting for Godot somehow, but I don't think that's true. And Canterbury Yearnings. Is Canterbury Yearnings supposed to be like the Canterbury Tales? Wait, are these real books? Hold on, I kind of want to look this up. The picture of Monsieur Lecoq. Oh my god, wait a minute. Oh, Monsieur Lecoq is the creation of Amélie Gaboriau, which is the other one. The 19th century French writer and journalist. Monsieur Lecoq is a fictional detective employed by the French Sûreté. The French Monsieur is Mr. and his surname, which means the rooster. The character is one of the pioneers of the genre and a major influence on Sherlock Holmes, who in A Study in Scarlet calls him a miserable bungler, laying the groundwork for the methodical, scientifically minded detective. Interesting. Interesting. So it's a reference, both of those actually. Both the picture of Monsieur Lecoq and Emile for Gaboriau. So what's Canterbury Yearnings? I think that's just a parody of Canterbury Tales. I'm very curious. I love looking stuff up. Yeah, that one's just a parody on the Canterbury Tales. But wow, what a reference. What a reference for the other one. I mean, they've got Sherlock Holmes, which is obviously one-to-one with Sherlock Holmes, but wow. Clever. I like it. I love these games. Alright, local. Alright, I already looked at that. Let's look at this jackknife. Oh, the point's dull.
Oh, look here, Mr. Naruhodo, just at the tip. A small piece of the blade appears to be missing.
You're right. Well spotted, Mrs. Sato.
I wonder what could have happened to it.
Yes, you don't think it could still be lodged in the victim, do you? Actually, I'd actually be willing to bet that it's... Oh dear, I hope not. That sounds terribly painful and probably true. Ugh. What about the handle? I guess that's it. Fair enough. I don't see anything out of place other than the knife in the bag. Okay. Good to know.
Hold it!
How are you able to state that with any certainty? Quite simply, my learned friend. Because that is what the witnesses to this crime have told us. Ah yes, Inspector Gregson mentioned the witnesses yesterday, didn't he?
That's right. One of them is a policeman, I believe, from Scotland Yard.
That is correct, ma'am. Then we must hear their testimony. The prosecution will of course cause them to the stand, should it be necessary. But wait a minute. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon in the middle of winter, it would have been dark already. No matter how light the fog might have been, no one could have seen... I'm unaware of the situation on your tiny island to the east. But here in the capital city of Great Britain, all main roads are illuminated by night, by gas streetlights. Ah. The prosecution believes there would have been ample light by which to witness is a crime. I'm really bad at German accents. Can you not tell?
Quite, here in London, for the first time in history, mankind has completely conquered the darkness.
Which means we really need to hear those witnesses' statements. If I could just get through the fog of this cross-examination, maybe we'll be able to. It seems the counsel for the defense is taking stock. Continue with your testimony, Inspector.
Hold it!
From behind, you say? That's right, as you can see from this print.
Yes, quite so, Inspector. The handle of the weapon is clearly protruding from the victim's back. And you say this poor woman, Miss Green, remains in critical condition, comatose, no less.
I'm afraid so, my lord, yes. She's being treated at Bart's. I was hopeful that she'd come round before the trial started so I could take a statement, but it wasn't to be.
Yes, that is indeed a pity. It would have been most illuminating to hear the victim's own account of events.
Luck is on your client's side, it seems. On the contrary, my client has been exceedingly unlucky. Your force of tone is seriously undermined by those disturbingly wide eyes, I'm afraid. Ugh.
Hold it!
Mr. Natsume's belongings. I think you'll find that it's all there in the photographic print of the crime scene.
Yes, the 3 books on the floor.
That's right, my lord. Second-hand books they were. Irreparably damaged after falling in the snow, of course. That sucks. The accused could easily have carried all 3 books in one hand. Which means his other hand would have been free to wield a knife, for example.
He's very clever, isn't he?
What do you mean?
He's made it extremely hard for you to assert that Mr. Natsume had his hands full with his books. He's managed to close the one avenue of escape we might have had before we even knew it was there.
You mean to say that the defendant was holding his belongings as he thrust the knife into the woman's back?
That must be what happened, my lord.
Hold it!
The defendant apparently visits a second-hand bookshop on a daily basis. Yes, so I understand. A shop full of old English literature. I commend the accused on the lofty subject matter of his scholarly attention. The bloke's room was stacked floor to ceiling with those musty old books. Can you tell us more about the bookshop in question, please, Inspector? Well, if I must, I'll have to ask you to look at the street map again, I'm afraid. The closest second-hand bookshop to the accused lodgings is this place here, Bourbon Books. A little place on the corner of Briar Road and Mearsham Street. Mearsham? As it happens, the accused is currently living in lodgings on the other side of Briar Road at the opposite end. Which means it doesn't take a genius to work out the route he would have taken home. Something like this. He could have crossed the street before and then walked down the other side of the street.
Yes, I concur with your
conclusion, not inclusion. Your conclusion, Inspector.
The defendant would certainly have passed the scene of the crime on his way home from that particular shop.
Mr. Naruhodo, I think that what the inspector just told us could turn out to be of vital importance.
Yes, I agree. The most important point that the inspector just made being... the bookshop name. The bookshop's name. Because he didn't buy it. He didn't buy the books from Bourbon Books. He bought it from your books. Inspector Gregson, may I ask you a favor? What? Would you kindly add the name of the bookshop to your... Would you kindly? All the Bioshock fans just... Would you kindly add the name of the bookshop to your formal testimony, please? I believe it may be of vital importance. Maybe? Oh, well, you know, I mean, yes. It could be a very important clue.
Very well. Not that I can see it being of any great significance. But please revise your testimony accordingly, Inspector.
Yes, sir, my lord. Whatever you say. Could the man be any more sardonic?
Could the man be any more sardonic?
What is this, friends? He was not on the way home from Bourbon Books because he bought it from your books. If I could just stop you there, Inspector Gregson. What is it, Sunshine? I'm a busy man, you know. This is a receipt that we found in Mr. Natsume's room. It was issued on the day of the incident and details the purchase of 3 secondhand books. And you found that in the accused's room, did you? Yes, but the point is not where the receipt was found, but the name of the shop printed on it. Go on. This receipt was issued from a bookshop called Your Books. Your Books? Y-O-R-E, I presume. Yes, my lord. So Mr. Natsume did indeed purchase a number of books at a secondhand bookshop that day. However, the bookshop in question was not Bourbon Books. What? Inspector, do you know of this other bookshop? Yes, sir. Your Books is another secondhand bookshop not far from Bourbon Books. It's just that, well, it's such a small place, I didn't think the accused would have known about it. But in fact, that is the bookshop which the defendant visited on the day in question. And this receipt proves it.
Objection!
Yes, for what difference does it make? Wherever the man purchases musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis.
Objection!
I disagree. I mean, after all,
I have the street map here. That might be of help.
Oh, yes, thank you. Have a look at this, please. If the defendant had been returning from Bourbon Books, then yes, he would almost certainly have passed the place where Miss Greed was attacked. However, if we take into account the fact that he was actually at another bookshop, Your Books, it may very well turn out that he wouldn't have passed that location at all. Could that be true?
My, it rather depends on where his other bookshop is, but I do declare.
Oh my god, they're absolutely, totally making her a Southern debutante because I do declare. How do you not say that in like a Southern accent? Anyway,
I do declare may be a possibility.
is that right, Mr. Lawyer, sir? What you just said? Absolutely. It absolutely could be right.
Inspector Gregson, where is this Your Books establishment?
Well, obviously we looked into that. It turns out that Your Books is just here on the next corner of Meerschaum Street. Okay. You could have taken Calabash Road then. And there you have it, as you can clearly see now. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, okay, I'm gonna take a sip. My learned Nipponese friend is obviously intending to be a clown, as the way he regales us with such witticisms. To your future career is a circus.
Ugh, you put that glass down now or I'll put it down for you!
I love her. I didn't think I needed to spell it out, but here we go. If the accused was coming home from Your Books instead of Bourbon Books, there's no doubt he still would have passed the place where the victim was stabbed. Not necessarily.
Yes, thank you, Inspector.
Ugh. Allow only to reiterate for my learned, if somewhat slow, Nipponese friend. Dude, stop doing that. Wherever the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis. Oh, come on, Ryunosuke. You can take him.
As I suspected, you can't fool me, and I don't suggest you try.
What I say, eh? I've had enough of this now. Okay.
I beg your pardon, terribly sorry, but would you mind repeating that? Mr. Naruhodo, we mustn't give up.
What do you mean?
If the prosecution's assertion is correct, the members of the jury may very well decide that Mr. Natsume is guilty.
She's absolutely right.
We must think. We must consider the assertion just put forward by the prosecution very, very carefully.
They claim Soseki-san must have passed the location of the incident on his way home from your books. Raise an objection, damn it! He could have taken Calabash. The assertion just made by the prosecution is fundamentally flawed.
Explain yourself, counsel.
Yes, my lord. You can see what I mean on this map. When returning from your books to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume could have followed the route suggested by the prosecution. However, that isn't the only conceivable route to take between the two places. If the defendant used these streets, look what happens. He arrives back at his lodgings without passing the location where the victim was attacked.
Objection.
Talking back to a clown is a fool's errand, of course. However, I feel compelled to point out that route is what is commonly referred to as the long way around. On a cold winter's night, why would any man choose to take a longer route home? Well, the answer is extremely simple. He wouldn't. In other words, the accused took the obvious route back to his lodgings, and is the obvious perpetrator of this crime.
Objection.
But, aha, yes, I've got it. Oh my gosh, Gossip Curl! LITF, LITF indeed. Oh my gosh, I love your KK slider, by the way. I'm loving it. Hello, welcome. Thank you for stopping in and listening to me do dumb voices. Everyone say hi to Gossip Curl. She's amazing. I have already informed... I'm good. I hope you're doing well. I have already informed the court of the accused's response to such questioning. I cannot do a German accent, so I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh, Spoons, thank you so much for the follow. Hello. Xno? What's Xno? What is Xno? That sounds interesting. Oh my gosh, See for Life, thank you for the follow as well. Thank you guys. Oh my gosh, welcome in. I hope you're having a good night. Yay. He claims he has no recollection. I'm so sorry for the accents that you guys are about to be subjected to. That's right, as I said, the bloke seems to spend his time outside wandering aimlessly from A to B. That day was no exception. He says he doesn't remember where he was or which route he took home. Hope you guys are having a good one. I'm really having a fun time playing some Ace Attorney. Just me trolling. Yeah, my day was good. Thank you so much for asking. It was pretty chill for a Monday. I was a little tired, but it's still good. I don't believe this. Oh no. I'm gonna shout out. Hold on, I gotta find my mouse. Where is it? There we go. Rainbow Six Siege. Nice, nice. Shout out to Gossip Curl. LITF. I thank you, my learned friend, and suggest that we do not waste any more of the court's time by wandering aimlessly around the subject. Pray, what say you insightful jurors? Oh god. The jurors are the hardest ones to voice because there's so freaking many of them. But even if that's... Oh no, I'm interrupted. Oh, who said it? Who said it? Who said it? Who said it? There's so many. I agree with Lord Van Zeeks. Wholeheartedly, and in every way. What? I don't believe it. Does this mean... We members of the jury are completely convinced now.
Very well. In that case, I hereby call upon all members of the jury to present your findings to the court.
Guilty.
Oh no.
Guilty.
Oh no.
Guilty.
Oh, that's not good.
Guilty.
No, please, no.
Guilty.
No, don't do it.
Guilty.
No! We just got started. No, don't shoot the fire and guilty. We just got started. No. Oh dear. This is bad for me. This is real bad. This is real bad.
It would appear the jury's leading is unanimous.
Oh dear. I'm losing. To the insightful members of the jury, I applaud your brave resolve. You serve Queen and country admirably.
Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh no. No, not yet. This isn't over yet. I still have one last chance to sway the opinion of the jury. I sure hope I know what that is. I have to tip the balance of those scales the other way. I have to turn this around. Somehow. Gossip Girl, we gotta plan some fun stuff. I want to plan some fun stuff with you. I haven't come up with any ideas yet, but I will, I promise. I promise I'll text you. So since the eyes of Kawaii not yet willing to give up and die. Oh, that's dark. So I presume you intend to wield your rights again in this trial. Rights of the defense written into antiquated British law that should have been buried long before ago. Oh, she's AFK. I'm so sorry! Thank you for letting her know, C4 Life. Call it antiquated if you will, but it's the defense's prerogative to carry out a summation examination if it so chooses. Very well, counsel. In accordance with the letter... Oh, sorry. I'm reading that in my own voice.
In accordance with the letter of the law, we shall proceed with the summation examination. Are the members of the jury ready, Mr. Foreman?
Of course we're ready. I'm all too familiar with that Nipponese whippersnapper and his Onkus refusal to throw in his alley.
All in voice... Gus is probably having to jog a marathon. Oh my goodness. Amazing. Yeah, that's probably... There's a lot to navigate there. I totally understand.
Very well then. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty.
Oh boy.
Judicial findings.
The jurors' contentions.
For pity's sake, that little Nipponese oddity has already admitted it himself, didn't he?
If he said that a woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why, it can only be have been the victim.
The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, not in winter.
So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful.
I really don't care. Can't we just wrap this up now? I've got work to be doing.
Your book's nice, yes, nice shop. That but bourbon books, not worth a visit.
Oh boy. I don't know who to pit against each other.
With only minor exceptions, the reasons for finding the defendant guilty are all too clear.
When the stabbing occurred, the only two people at the scene were the victim and the accused. And the accused himself has admitted to seeing the victim in her green overcoat sink to the ground before his eyes.
Furthermore, we have heard from the inspector that the defendant then fled the scene. I must say, I would have ample grounds to convict this man already.
Oh dear, even the judge appears convinced of Mr. Natsume's guilt now.
Ugh, why did he have to run away like that? And how are we supposed to believe in some phantom attacker that nobody could see? This is impossible. How can I possibly make a case for the defense?
Mr. Naruhodo, this is no time for grumbling. If we want to force the trial to continue...
Yes, I know. I have to turn the tide. I must make the jurors change their minds. Well, 4 of them at least.
Exactly. We have no choice but to forge forward.
Okay, we can do this. I think. Maybe. Wish me luck. You have the floor, counsel. Begin your summation examination. Yeah. Smack the cheekies. I just need to keep this trial going somehow, whatever it takes. Come on, Ryunosuke, you can do it. Okay. I just gotta think this through. I just gotta use the old noggin. I just gotta put my thinking cap on and use the old noggin, and I got this. I got this. Was attacked from behind. Okay. Really carefully. For pity's sake, that's nothing. He's just an asshole. If he said that a woman in green collapsed before his eyes, it could only have been the victim. Maybe? I think? The man wouldn't have gone around the house as long as not in winter. He doesn't care. Maybe this guy? And then this guy?
Objection.
Oh, no, that was wrong. Those two statements clearly contradict each other. They don't. I'm sorry, but as foreman of the jury, I have to object. That's complete nonsense. What? I'm a banker, don't forget. An educated man. There's no contradiction as far as I can see.
Quite so, Mr. Foreman. I will not permit a whimsical attack against the good members of the jury council.
Shit. That was not correct.
It's very important to listen carefully to every juror, Mr. Naruhodo. Then you can decide where the contradictions really lie, if there are any.
If there are any, though.
Hold it!
But you can't deny that there are other routes Mr. Natsume could have taken back from your books. Oh, yes. Like you drew on the map, you mean. What was it? Calabash Road or something? Precisely. But it seems to me that what counts is whether the little Japanese fellow actually went that way or not. Well, yes, that's true. And at the moment, there's no proof that shows he did, is there? Well, yes, that's true as well. And as I understand it, the accused himself doesn't remember which way he went, does he? Well, yes, that's annoyingly true. Winter nights are dark and cold, so the way I see it, you'd want to get home as quickly as possible. Well, yes. Why is all that true? So really, the only thing that makes sense is that he went home along Briar Road. Oh, God. I have given it a lot of thought, you know. I didn't just make up my mind on a whim that he did it. I mean, if there was some logical reason why he would have gone the Calabash Roadway, it'd be different. I'd be happy to reconsider my position in that case. Honest, I would. Okay, so he's willing to be convinced, but the problem is I don't have the proof. A reason why Soseki-san might have taken the longer way home.
Yes, a good reason. I don't imagine you'll be able to sway this young man's opinion without one.
So, maybe we talk to the old man? Hey, old man. You got an opinion on that bookshop.
Hold it!
Tell me what you're thinking.
Sorry, fold it, you say? Fold what?
No. What I said was, hold it. Oh, he just his little... what I wanted to ask was, do you visit your books often?
I like the old books they have in there, yes. I enjoy reading them over a nice cup of old tea. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about.
And at what time did you visit your books on the day in question?
Well, I was picking out books in there all afternoon, and it would have been just before 5 that I left. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're talking about.
Just before 5, you say? Exactly when the victim was attacked. Okay, so we're getting here. We're getting somewhere. Are you sure about the time?
Oh, yes, no mistake there. I remember it well. I'm not about to forget that day in a hurry. Not after the dreadful time I had.
What do you mean?
Well, I was walking down Calabash Road when I slipped on the ice and donked my head. It's always worse after the snow stopped falling. That's when it's most slippery. Knocked myself clean out, it did. I really thought my number was up.
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. This happened on Calabash Road?
That's right. I live in Cornpipe, you see. Heading down Calabash Road is the quickest way for me to get back to from your books.
Juror number 6, I must insist that you add that information to your formal statement. It may very well be extremely significant. Okay, so this is probably... Now I can pit this against the other guy.
Sorry, extremely sick. No, I'm quite all right now.
Oh, poor man. Get this man a hearing aid.
It sends a shiver down my spine to hear the members of the jury so convinced of Mr. Natsume's guilt. But I can't help feeling that some of their opinions are rather subjective.
I agree, it's the irrelevance of what some of them are saying that sends a shiver down my spine. Still, at least some of their assertions don't actually incriminate Mr. Natsume of anything. That's something.
We must use that to our advantage, Mr. Naruhodo. Cunningly.
Yes, you're right. Let's listen to the jurors again, carefully. And if any of their assertions are at odds, I'll pit them mercilessly against each other.
Yes, don't hold back.
Pit them all against each other! Violence! No, I'm just kidding. Alright. So, Homeboy at the end added something. I'm kind of curious. Excuse me, but aren't you... Yes, that's right. I was in the witness stand myself just 2 days ago. Yes, I had a feeling I knew your face. Or the side of it, anyway. If I remember correctly, you're a banker, aren't you? That's right. After the gold rush down under, I came back to London to work. And it was all going swimmingly until you started fossicking around. Bruce Fairplay was a man of repute. Sorry? Don't think I've forgotten how you treated me the other day. You had me and that young hatter pegged as criminals. Oh, well, you know, water under the bridge. Now there's all sorts of rumors buzzing around and the police have been battering me non-stop. If I could turn back the clock. Well, anyway, I don't know about the hatter, but at least I'm in the clear now. And free to make up my own mind about who's guilty and who isn't. Thank goodness. Alright, maybe I might struggle to change this man's mind given the awkward history.
Oh dear, I wonder what's become of Mr. First now.
Yeah, that's a good question. Alright, I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna pit them against...
Objection!
Nope, still wrong. Shit! Okay.
Hold it!
Damn it! This is tough. Okay, so let's talk to her. Let's see what she has to say.
Hold it!
You're right that at the time of the incident, the defendant admits to having seen someone wearing a green overcoat walking ahead of him. Oh my god, it just hit me. It just hit me. I think the guy on the end is wearing a green overcoat. Oh, shit, I can't check right now. But I'm pretty sure the guy on the old man is wearing a green overcoat. He was on Calabash. That proves that home slice was on Wait, I got it. I got it now. It took me a minute to get there, but I got it.
Well, quite. That's precisely my point. Clearly, that someone wearing green was the victim. And clearly, that funny little Nipponese man with the disturbing mustache is the culprit.
But let us not forget, madame, the defendant vehemently denies attacking the woman.
Well, of course he does. If he admits to stabbing her, his life is over. The man is obviously a liver-faced coward, honestly, claiming that woman simply collapsed before his eyes.
I'm back. Sorry the bae came home. Oh my gosh. Do not apologize. I say hello to your bae for me. I love you too. But if that's a lie as you're suggesting, do you not think he would have concocted something more credible?
Oh, I really couldn't say. After all, you are foreign. Who's to say what goes through your fun little minds?
That is super racist. Super racist and xenophobic, dear juror number 2. I could tell you what's going through my funny little mind right now, but you wouldn't like it. Yeah, I want to punch this bitch.
I do declare the man has already made the admission. He himself has stated that there was nobody else around. Surely the conclusion is obvious. No one else could have possibly have committed this awful crime.
Ugh.
If no one else could have done it, the accused must be the man. Really, it couldn't be more simple.
Your argument is compelling in its simplicity, I must admit.
Oh my, you are too kind, my lord.
That went well for her. Okay, well now I know who to pit against each other. It's actually not this guy, because this man was in... Oh my! This man was in a green overcoat and was knocked out, which means...
Objection!
We got it! The music stopped! Yes! The music stopped. That means it's correct. Those two statements clearly show a flaw in the juror's reasoning. I'm out of tea. Oh no. A flaw? What are you talking about, counsel? Well, juror number 2, juror number 6.
My, whatever do you mean, sir?
I think perhaps the old man didn't hear you.
Unbelievable. It's not like I was loud or anything. Oh, fun fact for you guys in chat. If you want to, your little avatars, you can make them jump by typing in ! jump, and you can catch the star that's flying around. Just a fun little thing if you want. If you want, you don't have to, but it's fun. There's at least one fact of which we can be sure here. The bookshop receipt found in the defendant's room clearly indicates that on the day of the attack, he had been to your books and purchased a number of secondhand titles. He then returned home on foot.
But the man says he has no recollection of his return journey.
That's correct. But what he does remember is seeing someone appear in front of him on the way. Someone in a green overcoat who suddenly collapsed on the pavement before his eyes.
Yes, we are well aware of all this. The poor young woman who was stabbed, obviously.
Objection!
Can we really be sure of that, madam?
Nah, whatever do you mean?
I'm sure you heard juror number 6's account of what happened to him that day. That same afternoon, there was somebody else apart from the victim who was wearing a green overcoat and who fell over on the icy streets in the neighborhood.
Oh my.
Oh, he's listening now. My goodness, you mean? That's right. I'm referring, of course, to hard of hearing juror number 6.
Oh, are you really suggesting that the person in the green overcoat whom the defendant saw collapse in front of his eyes was the jolly old gentleman at the end of the bench here with me today?
That is entirely possible, yes. After all, the old man has a somewhat similar build to the victim. Well, look at that.
My goodness me. Sorry, you need a pee?
And crucially, we know precisely where the old man in the green overcoat fell.
On Calabash Road.
Therefore, if the person who Mr. Natsume saw collapsing in front of him was in fact juror number 6, it means the defendant must have taken the long route back to his lodgings. And if that's true, then clearly the crime scene on Briar Road where the woman was stabbed was not on his way home. Oh my! That's right, we're turning the tables on this. You idiot old man, if you hadn't been so daft as to be roaming about there, we'd have boxed this off hours ago.
And really, what were you thinking wearing such a befuddling coat? What did you say to me? Is it a crime for the elderly to walk down the streets these days? Is it a crime to step over on the ice? Is it a crime to keep up with the latest styles and wear a beautiful green overcoat, is it?
There's so many voices. Oh my goodness gracious.
My lord, I do hope it won't cause any inconvenience, but...
You'd like to change your leaning, I presume.
I do declare that I would. I should like to call for a verdict of not guilty.
Thank you.
And I would too.
Oh, thank you for the follow, Zumi2. Welcome, welcome. What? Shoo!
Is it a crime to change your mind? Is it? Well...
Zumi is cute. Aw. Too cute.
Yes, ooh.
Aw. C4 and Zumi2. I love it.
Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. That was wonderful.
Oh my gosh, you guys have the same little stream avatars too. You're both little hamsters. I love it. I love it. I ship it. Well, we managed to change a couple of minds at least. It's strengthened our position somewhat. Sumi2 is... No! Don't say Sumi2 is lame! The hurt. The betrayal. The trauma. No! I'm not gonna ban Gossip Girl. I'm sorry.
Yes, and it will prompt the other members of the jury to reconsider their stance. They'll be asking themselves if their current leanings are really right or not. Now, if only... If we could just identify one more clue or discrepancy that would make them stop doubting Mr. Natsume. We might be able to tip the balance completely.
Yes, that's exactly what we've got to do. Van Zieks is looking to bring this trial to an early conclusion. That's what we have to prevent, by whatever means we have at our disposal.
Thank you, counsel. On with the summation examination, please.
Yes, my lord. Okay, we're still in the woods, unfortunately.
Why, it could have been that old man in the green.
Okay, I want to know what his thoughts are, because he's just like, I don't care. A man's life is on the line here, sir. This will take as long as it takes.
Don't get clever with me now, son. My life's on the line too, and so is my family's.
Ah.
The likes of you wouldn't understand, but a labourer like me can't afford to take time off. If I don't work, I don't eat, and neither do the wife and kids.
Oh, I see. That must be very hard.
I go to the union every morning to find out what he's doing. If you're late and the work's taken, it's tough. This time of year, there's water and gas supply pipes bursting left and right and centre. They have to cheap labour to get the roads dug up to fix it. It's a hard slog from dawn till dusk it is.
So, you were out digging up the roads on the day of the incident as well, were you?
That's right. In fact, if I remember rightly, it was just round the corner from where it all happened.
I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Whatever.
By that old bookshop it was.
What? Another coincidence.
That's right, Meerschaum Street it was.
Meerschaum Street.
On the map, Mr. Naruhodo, there are only 3 named streets.
Juror number 5, I need you to add that information to your formal statement, please.
What's the point in that? Can't we just get this business over with now?
Please, sir, it's important.
Fine, I'll do it then.
So, on the day it happened, I was digging up Meerschaum Street. Hold on, I want to look at the map one more time. So I don't think... Oh, so he couldn't, if the road was being dug up, he could not have taken Meerschaum Street. If he couldn't take Meerschaum Street, he absolutely could not have taken Briar Road. If he absolutely could not have taken Briar Road, he's absolutely not guilty. So, that is important. I'm going to pit this man against this man.
Objection.
Yes, music stopped, which means it's correct. Those two statements are clearly at odds with each other.
At odds, counsel, explain yourself.
Please, don't point. It wasn't me, I swear. What? I just want to get this done and dusted. Well, juror number 3. Oh, me, sir? What do you mean? Juror number 5's words just now are extremely significant. Let's take a moment to consider the implications of what's been said on our map of the local area. On the day in question, Mr. Natsume visited this bookshop to purchase a number of secondhand books. And on the same day, we now know that there were works being carried out on Meerschaum Street, making it impassable. Which means that the defendant's route home could not have taken him along Meerschaum Street and down Briar Road. Oh, yes, of course. What do you think, sir? Well, yes, you can't argue with that really, can you? We mustn't had a good 2 yards or more of the pavement up. Every gentleman and gentlewoman that came along had to turn back and go the other way. So, the only conclusion is this. The defendant must have taken the longer route back to his lodgings. Yes, I suppose he must have. I suppose that must be right, eh? Juror number 3, you said the following. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop. But we see now that he had no choice. Yes! My lord, Mr. Judge, sir, if I may. Yes. I don't think in all good conscience that I can say the man's guilty now. This is like the most remarkably average character I've ever seen in an Ace Attorney game, and I want to make him like super monotonous and just like totally... Yes, I'd like to see this trial continue so we can get to the bottom of what really happened. Yay, innocent. Shifting the balance yet again. What about you, sir? Who, me? Well... Alright then. If there's a hole in the prosecution's argument, it should be filled in, that's what I say. Yay, that's 4 jurors! We've convinced 4 jurors! The trial's back on!
Well, that summation examination is concluded with a rather large shift in opinion.
The ayes 2, the noes 4. The noes have it, not guilty they say. Which means we no longer have a consensus among the members of the jury. The trial will continue.
Objection!
Oh, he pissed now. He angry. Please don't throw your wine glass. He's gonna throw his wine glass. You watch. Here he goes. Oh, he crushed it instead. Okay. Could it seem churlish of me to drink from my hallowed chalice moments after raising an objection? Only to crush it in disgust. Pray, forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zeeks! It seems I must retract my earlier remark. What do you mean? I mistakenly credited these jurors with intelligence by describing them as insightful. Yet we have just witnessed them falling for a cheap trick performed by an Eastern entertainer. Eh?
Whatever do you mean?
Objection.
I haven't tricked anyone. Everything I've said is the truth. Indeed, stalwart juror number 5 was undoubtedly repairing the road as he claims. I believe you said it was a good 2 yards of the pavement which you had excavated, sir. That's right, took me the whole day. They paid me a measly 2pence for it. Now, my learned Nipponese friend, tell me. Do you have any notion of the distance that 2 yards represents? I'm sure he does. Well, if I'm honest, I don't have a clue, no. Okay, well, that's fair.
2 yards is a little less than 2 meters.
Less than 2 meters? That's not much at all. In other words, a distance readily vaulted by anyone of moderate vigor. Would you not agree, my stalwart friend? Me? Well, I can't say you're wrong, no. What? And did you perchance erect a sign to prevent pedestrians from passing the site of your works? I wouldn't dream of it. What a waste of time. No coaches would have had a hope of passing anyway. We just turn any gentlefolk back when they come. Kids just jump right over us all the time. The accused is no gentleman as far as I can see. I have little doubt, however, that he could spring over a 2-yard trench in his meanderings about town. Ah!
Is that true, is it?
The incontrovertible truth is that the books just purchased by the accused were found at the scene. There can be no doubt that on his way back to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume walked down Briar Road. Damn it. Damn it! I thought I had him, but I didn't. And old man.
Cold man, you can talk.
You say that around 5 o'clock on the day in question, you slipped and fell on Calabash Road. Pray, was that a suspicious-looking Nipponese behind you at the time?
Oh, I, can't say as I remember.
You don't remember? How about a wager, my learned friend? You say it was the sort of man that the accused saw. But I would lay 1,000 to 1 against you being able to prove it. Oh, no. No, I'm losing again.
Order! Order! Lord Van Zeeks, explain yourself.
My lord.
If you had such a trenchant argument up your sleeve, why in the world did you not proffer it during the summation examination?
I wanted to give this young foreign student the sightseeing experience he no doubt came for. I wanted him to see for himself how the opinion of the jury is so readily swayed. Ugh. But my hospitality has its limits. They have been reached, I feel. The cape is off! So, my learned friend, today's sightseeing tour of London is now over. Oh shit. What are you talking about? My lord. The point. It's always the point. The prosecution requests permission to call its next witnesses to the stand.
Granted. Bailiff, bring forth the witnesses.
Its next witnesses?
Mr. Naruhodo, do you not remember? We've been told on several occasions that there were eyewitnesses to the incident.
Yes, I remember. One of them being a Scotland Yard policeman, no less.
I'm afraid that's likely to be the prosecution's next witness.
Alright, no matter who Van Zeeks brings to the stand as his witnesses, and no matter what they say, I believe in Soseki-san. I know he's innocent. And I'll keep believing to the very end, until this battle is over. Oh, how cute! I am going to stop it here because I have to go to work in the morning and I have an early day, which sucks, but it is what it is. But I want to thank everybody. I'm gonna save twice because I'm paranoid. So I'm gonna leave it. It was great to see you too, Gossip Girl. I'm going to end it here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm sorry that I have to like kind of cut it short, but you guys are wonderful. Thank you for all the follows. Thank you so much. I'll be streaming. Thank you. You guys have a wonderful night. I'll be streaming again on Wednesday. I do art on Wednesdays, so I'll be drawing some stuff if you like to watch like a nice chill stream and just watch me draw. That's what I'm doing. Follow me on all my social medias if you haven't already. Same time every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I promise I won't be late like I was today. Today I was having some technical issues, but yeah. So, and you can always find my schedule pinned to my Twitter. So if you're ever wondering what I'm up to, what I'm doing, it's there. What else? Yay! I'm looking forward to you being there. Yeah, I'm Breezelbit everywhere, so if you want to find me, they're also swiping down at the bottom there. Thank you guys so much. This was an awesome stream, and I'm glad I got to do this for you guys. I'll see you next time. I'm gonna go get ready for bed because I I have to go. Bye, y'all.